What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Crazy for KVs. I'm Tim. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. So you guys have already seen my four-wheel steer Capra. In that first video, you guys saw that on the garage tour. You saw that I was kind of talking about wanting to change up the foams a little bit and possibly add some front weight. So that's exactly what we did. I threw some soft crawl innovations, little Novas, 4.75. They're still really soft on that outside, that open cell, but a little bit more structure inside, help with side hilling, things like that. I also put SSD brass up front. I don't remember exactly how much weight it was. I'll put that down below. And you guys may also be able to see that I put some new Beadlock Rings. I did the Vanquish Wheels of Fortune a few times. Got a couple different combos. Started mixing and mashing. I had these black. These are Method 105s. And then I got these Beadlock Rings as part of Wheels of Fortune. So I thought they looked pretty good. Seemed pretty fitting for a, four-wheel steer kind of rock buggy like the Capra. So, but yeah, there's not much else to talk about. So let's get it outside, get it on the rocks, and see if it does any better than it did before. Let's go. All right, guys, you saw the Capra on the bench. Pretty much the only difference is it got new beadlock rings and some new foams. So obviously you got the little Novas from Hollyland Innovations, soft. It's a light truck, shouldn't need much. You guys saw it on the bench. I actually came out and ran it already like this. It was really muddy that day, really wet, and my GoPro, the stabilization wasn't turned on, so the footage was really bad, pretty much unusable. So we're gonna run it again. The rocks are really dry out here today. It's been really windy. The lake's pretty high, but there's quite a bit of terrain we can still mess around on. So I'm excited. Get it, try to get the dirt knocked off of it. And once these tires warm up a little in the sun, I think we're gonna see some pretty good performance out of the old four-wheel steer Capra. So let's stop talking and let's go run it. I'll see you guys on the rocks. Obviously I mentioned on the bench already, but I forgot to mention it here. We also got the brass upgrades on the front, so those are huge. That's going to be the biggest performance, probably. More than the foam. Just bellied out a little bit there. Okay. Man. We're just going to see if we can hit a little bit more steeper climbs. The truck just doesn't have a lot of weight to it, so I wanted to put a little weight up front. Weight's not always the answer. Put that four-wheel steer back to straight. Let's just, this is some pretty good sticky rock. It's not too bad. Tires are nice and dirty, but oh yeah, climb it real easy. Holding on there. Hard to beat the Fusions when it comes to just absolute smoothness, bang for the buck. The new SEs for 70 or maybe they're 80 bucks, but that is a great deal. I am looking to pick a couple of those up. Really wish they were able to pull that off in a 2300. 1800 is a little slow. I guess if I wanted to do it in a Capra, I could do 1800. Oh, I almost walked it out of there. As I was saying, though, I guess if we wanted to do a slower one in the Capra, you may not have to change your transmission. I like to run 3 gears in the two Capras that I have. Man, I just keep getting hung up. Kind of bellying out. If you have stock shocks and stuff, you're not going to have the issues like that I'm having. I'm running 90 mil shocks, so we lost some ground clearance, but center of gravity is much lower. When you start getting into the typically the FOC style, or most brushless motors, they kind of have two different modes basically. like slow speed, and then there's a certain basically RPM where things it kind of changes. In a Castle ESC, it goes from censored to censorless. I think it just kind of helps with heat. I'm not exactly sure, but there's a reason for it. But you can hear it, and it's really bad on these Fusions. They're real quiet. We'll go as slow as we can here. Big drop. Oh, yeah. Oh, I blew it. A little more throttle, we would have been fine. I was looking at the camera. Let's back out and try it again. Can we back up this thing? Oh, yeah. You know, that's a climb a lot of my vehicles have issues with in reverse or in forward. Capra can do it in reverse. Just totally different class. A little bit different looking this time. Drop that front wheel. We're just fully stuffed in the rear. There we go. That forward weight bias that we gained by adding that brass up front just helps us out in situations like that. These tires are, like I said, they're pretty dirty, and they're cold. They've been sitting in my truck all morning in the shade. I'm pretty happy with this though. Doing pretty well. I like the foams. We're hung up a little bit. There we go. I don't know what we were stuck on there, but four-wheel steer gets you where you need to be. I don't use it a whole lot, especially when I'm filming. It's I don't have the skills to. Wow. Pretty much everything I own could probably outperform, you know, my capabilities as a driver. There we go. These Tusks are really good tires. A little more comp oriented. They look good though. They do look good. They're not quite as durable. They don't do quite as well in the dirt. Like just, you know, if you're just trailing and you don't have rock, wouldn't be the tires I would recommend. My recommendation, if you're trailing and maybe you're running on rock like this or terrains like this, or you know, you're just got a trail on your property or local, I would recommend either crawlers in G8 or the Super Swampers, 4.75s from Proline as well in G8. The RC four-wheel drive mudslingers do really well too. Those are 4.75. You can get them at a 2.2 inch wheel though, which is kind of cool. A lot of people cut those, cut the lugs out of them for like 1.9 rock bouncer classes. Yeah. You see how slow a Fusion can go. Can't even hear it. Just letting it do its thing. It's giving a little more power when it needs it. No wheel spin. We're sliding a little bit, but there it is. I could crawl like that all day, but it doesn't make for a very exciting video.
If you guys have a different opinion on good trailing tires, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear it. And I'm a tire. You guys may notice I'm kind of obsessed with different tires and different wheels, and I am looking to get some pro builds and possibly some spec RCs. I want to give some of the other nicer wheels a shake. I really like SSD wheels. That's what all my 2.2 wheels are right now. But I did just order some 2.2 Vanquish wheels, tanks for my Rift. My Rift has 3 or 4 different sets of tires. Just like to rotate them out. I could bring my Rift out here. I don't have a great spot to run it where I'm at. Not a lot of good climbs. I would love to find just some place or someone who has some good rock bouncing terrain. Did the rock bouncing competition at Cherokee Rock Village in October, and that was an absolute blast. Probably one of the most fun things I've ever done with RC. It's actually my first video on the channel. It was not done very well. I don't really recommend going back and watching it. Really no thought into how I wanted it to turn out. Just cut a bunch of clips together, and it was mostly to share with the guys that put the event on, and some of the other guys that knew I was filming and wanted some of their run footage, but didn't turn out very good. That's all right. You'd be hard pressed to find something that's going to outperform a Capra. Just get kind of right out of the box. Obviously, this has some things done to it, but even in their stock form, which I actually drove this one stock for, I had it out definitely a few times, which is kind of rare for me, to be honest. I really liked it. Did really well. I said it's a light truck. There's very little sprung weight in it. Usually they're in the 4 pounds. This one might teeter into the 5 pound mark. This is one that you guys have probably seen in the past few videos. It's nothing crazy. It's just kind of what you have to deal with up there. If you turn too early, you end up with your back tire getting caught on that first overhang, and it'll actually just flip you over. Too late and you can't make the corner. This is obviously 4-wheel steer. Vehicles with dig do pretty well. I think I actually forgot to do this in my Pro. I wanted to kind of come in a little bit better angle. I'm going to back it out. Just try to approach it exactly how we want. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to hit 4-wheel steer. We're basically teetering on our driver front and our passenger rear. You just got to be careful when you do that. Sometimes it'll really throw the car if you have a big, strong servo. And then now, undo 4-wheel steer, and we walk right out of there. Not textbook. Could have been executed a little bit better. I said it in the past few videos, or I guess the only video I've had this thing out you guys have seen. I need to change the way I have the controller laid out. If I'm going to film and do 4-wheel steer, it's just I've got a Fly Sky Noble, and I've got it on the paddles up by the wheel. And I can hit the one with my thumb, but I can't hit the other one. It's on the other side of the steering wheel. So we're going to come over here real quick. I got to save some battery in my GoPro. But we are going to come over here. Got in the water a little bit there on accident. Like I was saying, I hit this climb with my Pro, and I was pretty impressed with it. Capra should do it very easily. But sometimes it's an execution thing, not a capability thing. So, and the Capra's wider, and that was one of the issues I was having was that passenger rear wanting to slide off that little edge. So we go real slow, catch that edge with the front tire, We gotta start pulling high though, because we want that rear tire to catch. It's wanting to slide off. It's wanting to slide. Yep, there it go. Yep. Sometimes the width of these vehicles can bite you. Let's reset. Let's try it one more time. All right. Do over. It's a beautiful thing about RC and not full scale is it's a lot less at risk, including lives. So I'm gonna try to start pulling it higher earlier. The only issue is making it over this little crack. Okay, I think we're good. The truck feels really planted. Feels really planted up front. Oh, we gotta turn into it a little bit. Come on. There we go. Big climb out. Should be really easy for these tires, wheels. That brass up front really helped. And we conquered the mountain. Pretty awesome. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Did some modifications to the Capra. Just wanted to bring it out here, test it out, see how it did. Love the way it performed. A lot better, much more capable. A little bit of weight up front, a little better foam. That's really all I needed. A little bit more drive time too, honestly, it always helps. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.